In La Posada, there is a secret. Some of the oldest trees in the valley are located here. And today, we're going to see them. To tell us about them is local storyteller and expert Eugene Fernandez. Hi, my name is Nurith Galonsky, and this is my district.
Hi, Gene.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Wonderful.
This is a lovely place. Please tell us about it.
Oh my, this is a hidden gem for South Texas for sure, of course, for Brownsville and the southmost area. It is the largest population of cypress trees, of Montezuma cypress, in the entire continental United States. Look at the beauty of that vista. This is nature in its prime positioning. Mind you, on what you call a distributary, which is a resaca, you only have 3 areas in the world that this occurs: the Mekong Delta, the Nile, and the Rio Grande.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of it?
Yes, okay, there is an immense history on it, and it's very colorful. All of this was in pristine jungle back at the time of the post-conquest period, okay? And then when we started building our colony here at Brownsville, that was 1848, it was still just jungled, all kinds of chaparral and all of that. In 1869, Captains Kennedy, King, and Dalzell bought this tract. It's 640 acres, right? And they tried to do a farm. Well, they were steamboat captains. They couldn't do any farming. So they sold it to Celestin Jagoux, and that's where we begin our history. Celestin Jagoux was a French immigrant, and he started a farm here that was a Garden of Eden. What we're standing on right now was the bridge that he built in 1893, you see, in order to serve the community in southern Southmost. So it's just replete with all kinds of beautiful history.
Can you tell us about the trees?
Okay, the trees are very, very special. If you know the Riverwalk in San Antonio?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's not the same tree.
Okay.
It's a cousin, because that one is the bald cypress. This is the Montezuma cypress, okay? It's a different species. Its origin goes back eons to the interior of Mexico, right? The Valley of Mexico. By the river Sabinas and a couple of other ones, they have a confluence with the Rio Grande up by Roma, you know, where Falcon Dam is all that. So those seeds, thousands of years ago, came up the river there and came into the Rio Grande and deposited themselves on the delta here. And that's why we have them. But you don't see too many of them around, do you? Because they scalped the landscape of them.
And why is that?
For lumber. Well, you can't make lumber out of a mesquite tree. And it's a hard task to do it of an ebony, but the cypress is prime for that. And of course, in a humid environment. So there were 10,000 of them by the old escritos from the Spaniards that were from the mouth of the river up to Roma, and they were gone by 1900.
By 1900. And so what were they used for?
For housing, for wharves, because the cypress wood it's not consumed by shipworms or anything like that, and it endures in a humid environment. So it's prime, and they utilize that, sadly enough, to the demise of our entire forest that was here.
How many of those original trees are actually still located here?
You're standing in the epicenter of the largest collection of Montezuma cypress in the entire continental United States. There are pockets, of course, throughout Mexico along the rivers there, but no, not here. If you see them here and there throughout in the various subdivisions, they're planted by the hand of man. These were planted by the hand of God. They are original cover. So we have 41 of them here in this preserve as it stands now, and that's it.
About how old do you estimate that they are?
Oh, it's so beautiful. That one right there that you see with the top crown, it's estimated that one was here before we had our republic. It was here, that was a sapling 350 years ago.
And you've marked some of these, right? Or have you marked all of them?
Yes, what I did in my original study, I've been involved with it for 16 years, from the year 2007 onwards to present. One thing I wanted to have done is I really wanted to locate each one of these cypresses, so I did a GPS on all of them.
Because of natural circumstances, trees fall, right? Or the amount of original trees is dwindling.
Yes, to a degree. Now, mind you, you asked the difference between the cypress trees, the two? Well, the cypress tree has to have its toe in the water. Now, we had to evacuate the water from 2013. When we finished the bridge, I said, we'll bring the water back in. It took them 8 years to do that. So consequently, sadly enough, we had 11 trees, giant trees, that died.
And now you have a project where you're growing Montezuma cypress trees from seed, correct?
Yes. Oh, that's a beautiful project. I've got a nursery over here that I have deeded to the city through my foundation, and I've got 600 seedlings in there.
Oh, wow.
Yes, 600, mind you. Now, they go all the way from that size up to about 6 feet. So that is the future of the reforestation of the Delta area.
So you mentioned PUB and restoring the Resaca.
Yes.
Can you talk about the project?
Number one, we're making a park here, and that's La Posada Park, and so that'll serve the community. Do you think Southmost needs a park?
Of course.
You better believe it, and they're going to thrill at what they see come out of the ground here. A year and a half from now.
Oh, wow.
Totally done.
And so I know that the city owns this land, and
Yes.
Are you aware of their long-term plans for this area?
Yes, they recognize the beauty. That's the beautiful thing about the city administration. They recognize the beauty of this and the scenic value and the hike and bike trail and all of that. So yes, they are building up a park over here that'll have all the features of a park, and with the picnic tables and whatever on the banks of the Resaca. Canoeing, kayaking, and all of that can be done, and so that's the ultimate plan for the city.
That's great, because the families who live around here are they need a park.
They do need a
closest
park.
one.
Southmost needs this, and they'll embrace it. Once it starts blossoming and coming forward, you're going to see all the people come in here and enjoy it, and we're maintaining it in the natural form because this is a preserve.
And this one is different to other parks within the city, right?
It's far different, and that's what makes its beauty, because this is nature in the way that God intended it. And the other parks that you might see would be either a flat piece of land, a couple of trees here and there, a barbecue pit, and that's it. No, this is very special.
What does it mean to you to see this project being realized?
It means a lot, but it's not my effort. The volunteers that came out here for all these 16 years, I would venture to say that we put well over 1,000 labor hours into building up what we have now. For me to see it come this far with the cooperation of city, Corps of Engineers, PUB, and the citizenry and the volunteers, it is very gratifying.
And let's not forget the irrigation district.
Yes, indeed.
Tell me why this park is so special to you. You've done a lot to preserve it. What does it mean for you?
The little ones, if you think about it, the little ones are in the urban center there, and they see concrete and asphalt, right? Okay, well, Brownsville being in a tropical zone, this is a chance for them to get out, and you hear the birds in the background?
Yes.
And all of this, and we have squirrels here, we have armadillos and all kinds of the nature. They can come out and they can see something that is far different from the center of the city.
It was one of the features that I really like about this district, and so thank you for sharing the history and some of the background.
Oh, it is indeed my pleasure, and I'm sure it's your pleasure, because you have this to represent in your constituency here.
And it's an opportunity to provide a park space for people who live here in La Posada.
Absolutely.
Which they don't have.
And I absolutely appreciate your participation as well. This is your district. You know,
Yes.
this is the place that you should be proud of, and think about the pride that you have.
So I hope that by watching this video, they'll be encouraged to come and visit.